Hey guys, how are you doing today? Can you hear me? If you can hear me,
yes,
and everything is going well, you can type, I can hear you. Okay, just to be sure that we're good. Welcome everybody to this 3-day event where we're going to be looking at 5 different businesses you can do. And I promise you it's going to be a very loaded one. We've been on this subject for a while now, trying to help us look deep into business opportunities. I used to teach 20 businesses you can do, but recently we're trying to limit it so people don't get confused. And then, you teach people 20 businesses they can do. Before you know, they're really, really confused. And they're not sure, which one exactly. But before I get into today's class, I appreciate that you all help me share this video, the Zoom link on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on LinkedIn, across all platforms. Kindly go and share it. If we're doing this event and decided to make it free, then the goal is to have the whole world be part of it. That's the intention. But if we're not having so little people, then it won't make sense at all. Okay, it won't make sense. So today we're supposed to look at 2 business opportunities, but I think the team reduced it to just 1. So Toby, can you update me what happened? I thought we said we'll do 2 today, 2 tomorrow, and then on Saturday we'll do the final 2. Toby, can you unmute and let me know what happened? Hello, am I dark here or something? Toby Okunuga. If somebody can hear me, just type I can hear you. I don't know. Oh, okay. So you guys can hear me. So it's Toby that disappeared. Yeah. So Toby, what's going on? I said I thought we're gonna do.
internet issue. I'm back.
I thought we agreed we're gonna do two today, 2 businesses today, 2 tomorrow, and then the final day we'll do 1. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Why is your video off again? So what happened? Why did we change? We can't hear you again.
We're doing real estate today.
I'm just asking, why did we change the plan? I thought we had the conversation. 2 today, 2 tomorrow, 2 on Friday and Saturday. So why did we change the plan?
Because of the timing and the fact that for real estate, we have to cover a lot of ground for real estate.
So what's the new timetables? Because people need to know.
Yeah.
A lot of people are here and they need to know what's the breakdown, right? So today we're doing real estate. What are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing on Saturday?
All right. So for today we are doing the real estate. For tomorrow we are doing the software vending and digital marketing. And also talk a bit about public speaking and automation. And on Saturday we'll do e-commerce and dropshipping. Forex.
Okay, that's pretty good. I just needed to know and understand the flow of the event. So guys, I'm using that also to technically just wait for you guys to share and get more people to join us for today's event. Like I said to you, We've made it free, and it's important that we get good turnout when we decide to make an event free like this. So I'm looking at about starting the event once we hit, I think, 100 to 120. So can we share again, push everywhere, WhatsApp group, Facebook group, LinkedIn groups. Let's just keep popping the word out there. We're streaming also on Facebook and YouTube as well. Yeah. Toby, are we streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn?
Yes, sir, we are streaming, sir. Yes, sir, we are.
Okay. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen. So today we want to look at real estate. And today we're going to be looking at about 6, different ways we can do real estate and make money. Then I will take my time to, take questions from you guys. I like to just take your questions and understand, generally what your concerns are. Toby, I appreciate it if Jamu can quickly send me now on WhatsApp the login detail to this Zoom meeting. The login detail to the Zoom. So if you can share it with me on WhatsApp quickly. So we're going to be looking at 6 different types of real estate you can do. I must warn you that the 3-day event we're doing, this is called the Business Opportunity Masterclass, and we're doing a 3-day event. We normally charge $1,000 for it, but we're making it free for these next 3 days. And what you can just do for us is to make sure you share it and get more people to come. However, in the next 3 days, I have some gifts to those who wait till the end of each of the 3 days. Okay, so if you wait till the end of each of the 3 days, I have a gift for you. And I'm even going to announce the gift right now. So we have $100 million challenge coming up in October. It's a sales challenge. We're going to be training 100,000 people how to sell real estate. And the goal is that we sell up to $100 million worth of real estate in 8 weeks. And during that challenge, there will be a lot of trainings and mentorship. And we have 2 versions of the event. We have the free version, and we have the paid VIP version, which is $197. So the free version training is every Tuesday. The paid version gets their own training, extra training again on Thursday. And we're having some of the finest salespeople in the world. Okay, we're going to be having Grant Cardone, Ryan Sahant, Brian Tracy. It's going to be lit. Guys, it's never been this heavy, right? So it's going to be a power-packed event. And what I'll be doing is to give the VIP ticket that is what $197. I'll be giving the top 20 people who wait till the end for the entire 3 days. Now, how will I know you wait till the end? So here's the secret. And you must not tell anybody, right? At the end of today's class, remind me, I'll give you the assignment number 1. At the end of tomorrow's class, I give you assignment number 2, right? At the end of what's it called? Saturday's class, I give you assignment number 3. By the way, Toby, I asked you for 5 offers. So for example, my slide today does not carry today's offer, right? And we agreed that we're going to do Silacta University as offer 1, and then the upgraded offer will be Silacta University plus Silacta University group coaching and, access to some things. So I didn't see that in my slide today. So it's important that each slide is edited by you and you confirm that the ingredients that we discuss are there. So for example, my slide right now does not have the offer for today. So kindly let Joshua edit it while we're on the training so he can put the first offer and then the upgraded offer so people can choose which one they want. And they can get some good discount for it. So are you ready, guys? If you're ready, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. I want to be sure you guys are ready. Are you ready? Or you're not ready for me. If you're not ready for me, that's fine. That's okay. Right? If you're ready, on the other hand, come on. I need to see the energy. I need to see the excitement. I need to see my people who are ready for me. Come on. Are you ready? Okay. Let me also warn you, and I think this is a very important, by the way, this is a global training. So everything we're discussing, we'll be looking at it from a global perspective. But let me give you a warning. Knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. Can everybody type it? Knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. Everybody type it. Knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. Everybody, come on, I'm waiting. I need to type it. And why am I emphasizing on this? I've seen a culture where people think that knowledge is some, sometimes people even have the perspective or see knowledge like some voodoo, there's just this magic wand. You just can show it like this, zoom, zoom, abracadabra, right? Boom, the magic just start happening. But life has shown me that that's not really how life and success works, right? So success is possible, success is real, but there's a lot that needs to go on from you and I to making success work. And we must subscribe to this concept of constant knowledge. We're learning every day. We're investing every day. We're reading every day. So today's class, don't finish today's class and go and announce to the world now that you are now a guru when it comes to real estate. Because what we can achieve in the next 1 hour of this class is just an introduction. Okay? There are still further training. For example, we have a course starting exactly few hours after this class. Is going to be a 12 weeks training on the same real estate course. For next 12 weeks, I'm taking my participant through a very intense sessions about real estate development, real estate management, real estate brokerage, real estate in US, UK, Dubai, how they can do real estate globally. I myself have been doing 2-year course. Everybody say 2 years with Harvard University for the last 2 years. Now, I became a billionaire, and this is where most Africans miss it. I became a billionaire in the real estate journey industry. Yet I went to pay Harvard University again for 2 years. I paid over $12,000, right, to learn real estate again like I'm a beginner. And that's why we are successful. You see, those who train will reign. Knowledge is not something that, I have just listened to Dr. Stevie, now I'm a genius. That's not how it works. There's something we call the 10,000 hour rule. Everybody type 10,000 hour rule. Come on. My class, for those of you who know, I love a very interactive class. I love that you're jumping in and we're talking and we're engaging. 10,000 hour rule. Everybody, come on. The 10,000 hour rule is a powerful rule that helps you to understand, and I've considered this one that is true and is real and it works. And the principle just says that you cannot master anything until you put in 12,000 hours in that same thing, right? You can't master it until you put in 12,000 hours. And that by the time you put in 12,000 hours into anything, you really, really become exceptionally good at that thing. And 10,000 hours, if you put in 8 hours a day, that gives you about 7 years. So when you see, by the way, in our real estate journey, as a developer, this is our 8th year as a developer, right? In business, this is our 15th year. So, and I hope somebody is encouraged. A lot of time people get so worried about how they are not, success is not like abracadabra for them. Relax. There are certain things you will not taste until you hit your 10,000 hour rule. Because what that quote says that you can only rise to the top 10% in your field. Okay, you only rise to the top 10% in your field after you have put in 10,000 hours in any business, in any career. And that's the minimum. Anyway, sometimes you need to put in more. And what is, and data has shown that the people, the top 10% control 90% of the wealth in any industry, in any career, in any business. So if you don't rise to the top 10%, you will still be struggling with the 10%, right, with 90% of the people. So you want to rise to the top. And for you to rise to the top is usually a function of the quality of information at your disposal. Is this helpful? Are you learning something, guys? If you're learning, type I'm learning, right? So very, very important. So let's start today's class. I always start my class with this video because it does two things. Number one, it shares about my beginning, my hustle, how I started, very humble, but it also shared about my future for you. In other words, I created a platform that we keep improving on every day, but is the future of my work, is what I'm living, is my legacy, right? I've built a platform where we've put over 1,000 of my courses and we're improving it every day. And we've used it to train so many people all over the world. And so watch the video to explain this to you better. If you can see it, type I can see.
My name is Steven. I can known as Armies Consultant Commission. I started 15 years ago, 2008, as an entrepreneur. And knowing nothing, but having the guts, and of course, wanting to be wealthy as I was born from a poor family. My mother was a civil servant. My father's business had crumbled before I was born. But I knew that we could be wealthy. I knew that poverty was bad. Something was wrong with the kind of poverty I've been experiencing over and over again. But something changed my life. At the age of 17, I started reading a book on money. And I got to know that I can be wealthy. It's possible. And the question was, why are all these things not taught in the university? Why is my professor not knowing how to be rich? Why is he not teaching me? And this is why I've decided, haven't traveled all over the world, haven't built global businesses, haven't started with $10 and grew a multi-million-dollar corporation. I started the first wealth university where we teach you how to make, manage, and multiply money, understanding the secrets. Some of the courses in the Student University, by the time you're done with it, you can literally start your own business or be able to learn how to invest in a business and make money for yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to sign up today by visiting www.stevenakitauniversity.com and start your journey to building real wealth and prosperity today. I love you and see you in class.
Okay. How many of you
My name is Steve.
If you like that video, just type I like the video. Okay, so that tells you about, and honestly, on this platform, you'll be able to learn a whole lot more, not just about real estate on the Student University. You'll be learning a lot about e-commerce, about Forex, about crypto, about digital marketing, about, you know, name it, everything all the types of businesses you want to learn, they're all there. You know, and this really something that I'm sure will be a major game changer for as many of you who subscribe. We've had tons and tons of testimonies. Toby, again, did these testimonies reflect in my slide today? Because we had this meeting and we discussed about some of these things. We want to see the testimonies of those in the Student University played for people to see it and see the impact of that university in the lives of people, and can see that this is a major game changer for people and how their lives has turned around. We had somebody one of those who hosted me in Benin before I left Nigeria for South Africa. He owns a massive real estate company there in Lagos, they're in Benin, they started in Benin. And you won't believe this guy's business is just 2 years. His real estate business is just 2 years. And I could not believe it that he was the Steve Acta University. That was a major platform that taught him how to start his own real estate company, right? So if you take some of these platforms serious, it's going to change your life. This was the recent article written about, about our company and myself by Forbes Africa. You can screenshot this URL. You can go read it. Powerful, insightful, very detailed about who we are, what we're doing, and how we're changing the narrative. They target creating sustainable real estate investment in Africa. And there's a lot that was shared about that. And remember this year, July, in London, I got the award for Forbes Best of Africa Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul. So we thank God for our growth. And again, to believe that this was a company that started from nothing, I just want to give God the glory. Okay, really give that. So that was me in London receiving the Forbes Best of Africa Investment Coach and Real Estate Mogul. Also, we run a foundation called Steve Acta Foundation, and you can visit our website. I don't know why the website is not written boldly on this picture. SteveActaFoundation.org. We give $5,000 every month. We give 2, 3, 4, 5 people $5,000 for their business. Is our way of giving back. I'm very big on giving back. How many of you know that one of the reasons why God will give you money is so that you can be a distributor? If you agree with me, type I agree. Of course, if you don't agree, feel free to say I don't agree. Because a lot of us have this mindset that wealth is meant for just you and your family, right? Just so take care of me and my family. And we do not know that God expects you to think beyond that level. God wants you and I to think of other people and to think about how, in fact, that should be one of your dreams. You should be dreaming that, Lord, one day I'll be sending people to school, I'll be paying tuition fee of people, I'll be changing lives. Is those kind of mindset, okay, that you have that then make God to open the windows of heaven to bless you, because now he knows you're a distributor. Now God knows that you're not just going to take the money and you're just concerned about you and your family. You are going to be giving to other people as well. So I'm big on that, and we do a lot on that. And like I was saying earlier, welcome to the Business Opportunity Masterclass. We normally charge $1,000 for this, but we're making it free for most of you. And it runs from today, Thursday, to Saturday, 16th. And we're going to be looking at 5 different business opportunities. Real estate, which we're doing today. Tomorrow, like you have been told, we're going to be looking at software vending tomorrow. And we're going to be looking at how to monetize being an author and being a speaker. Right? When it comes to software vending, many people don't know that the tech industry has the largest money right now globally. And you can play in that field. For example, you like Flutterwave, you love certain app, you love Uber, you love Airbnb. Do you know you can start your own version? You love Facebook. You can start your own version of all of these things. Every app you use, you can actually be an owner. And doing software vending, you're going to be learning the secret and principles to that. By the way, a more comprehensive class also exists in the Steve Acta University. So if you say, oh, the introductory class is short, just subscribe to Steve Acta University and go learn more. And that's really why we're doing this Business Opportunity Masterclass. It's an intro. It gives you opportunity to at least have an idea of where are the opportunities. I've seen people, how many of you agree with me that many of us are financially broke today because we don't even know which business to do? If you agree, type I agree. In other words, we don't have the knowledge of the business, right? And I always tell people, Always invest in the knowledge of a business before actually putting your money into the business. Have an idea what the business is about, have an idea what type of business opportunity exists, before you then go ahead and start putting your money. You put in your money, you lose everything, then you start crying again. Oh, the world is unfair. I lost my money to Forex. I lost my money to software. But the question is, did you even understand the business? Did you even study? Did you even pay money to read, to go for seminar, where you now understood how that business really work before you now start putting your money to say, okay, now I've set up my own Forex company. I've set up my own e-commerce company. I've set up my own real estate company. Do you know people go ahead, okay, to practically, start their own real estate company without any mentorship, without any proper training? And it's just ridiculous, okay? Extremely ridiculous. So if you're going to go find any business, I've always said this to a lot of people, you must invest in the knowledge of the business. So I want everybody to type this. I type it with your name. So in my own case, I, Stephen Akintayo, vow to always invest in the knowledge of the business before putting my money into any business. Where everybody type it on the chat box. I, Stephen Akintayo, hereby vow to always invest in the knowledge of the business before I start the business. Okay, so please, and never forget this, if you don't want to regret and play victim, always ask yourself, anytime they tell you, oh, so person, there's this new business, you can make crazy money in it, everybody's making money in it. The first thing you should say to yourself or to those people and say, do they have a course? Do they have a training? Is there something where I can go and learn about the business first? Always demand for that. Once you do, you will reduce your losses, you will reduce your mistakes. So for example, I had that same problem. Many years ago, I just used to think it was witches in my village that were my problem. I start businesses, I lose money, everything just fall like a pack of sand, and I just feel like pack of cards. And I'm always wondering, I think this is spiritual. I think some people don't want me to succeed in life. But it took me years to later realize that there was nobody after me. There was nobody against my success. I was the problem. I was starting businesses. I didn't have mentors in those businesses. I didn't have people who are ahead, who have succeeded, who can then tell me, oh, this is how to go about the business. Oh, these are the mistakes you're making. Oh, correct this. I didn't have those people. So it was normal for those businesses to eventually fail, right? Another powerful thing I need you to know before we go into this is that it's something called cash flow quadrant. Everybody say cash flow quadrant. Now, this cash flow quadrant was invented by a man called Robert Kiyosaki. And he said, basically, there are 4 major ways people make money. They either make money by having a job, or they make money by being self-employed, which AKA you own the job, right? Or another word is small businesses. And then the third way is to own a business that has a system where people work for you, and the system is so strong that even if you're not involved in that business, the business will run itself. And then the last way, according to him, is that you can make money by making money work for you. So you're an investor, and so you don't even have to bother yourself about owning the business in terms of operation, but you get the returns anytime the company makes money. However, in the analysis, it was discovered that if you are an employee or you're self-employed, 95% of people in the world, that's what they do. And they control 5% of the money in the world. For example, I'm in South Africa, right? And after Mandela fought for apartheid in South Africa, right? I don't know if you are in South Africa at the moment, or you know somebody in South Africa, okay? Because I'm here, and it's not when I leave All of you now say, oh, my cousin wanted to see you. My brother is in South Africa. My in-law, or even me, myself, I'm in South Africa. I would love to be there. Okay, anybody in South Africa here? If you're in South Africa, just say South Africa. Okay, now, before when apartheid was going on, right? About, let's say 90% of the wealth in South Africa was owned by the white South Africans. The lands, the companies, the businesses, the white South Africans were the owner. You know, and Toby, if you're here, why was this not posted in the South African group, right? Because I'm shocked that there's no South African here. People who have registered for the South African event, right? Joshua and Toby must be in this event all through, please, so that you can make the correction. The South African group, you didn't post this there because this will have been helpful for many of them. They will even come and be able to ask me a question about this. Can we add it to all the group? Uganda group, Ghana, Cameroon, all of that, right?
Right,
So that's why we created those community. Even the real estate investment masterclass, community, the Abuja, the Lagos, just send it to Blessing. We get everybody in here because this is free. So let them come and learn. Now, in South Africa, 90% of the money in South Africa was owned by these white people. Now, after apartheid, can anybody guess how many percentage of the wealth is in their hand? Because now Black people rule, Black people are governors, ministers, president. Can anybody guess how many, percentage of the wealth in South Africa is in the hands of Black people in South Africa? And how many is in the hands of white people in South Africa? Just randomly guess. I need anybody to just type whatever comes to your mind. No right or wrong answer. I want to see your guesses. Okay, can you guess? Somebody says still the 90%. Another person says 75, 25. Another person say 10% to Black people. Okay. Will you be shocked if I tell you that today, almost 75% of the wealth in South Africa is owned by white South Africans? Some of you are shocked. Some of you are shocked. In other words, since Black people started ruling South Africa, more money still went to white South Africans. Right? More money still went to white South Africans. And I've said this many times and people don't listen, that slavery, apartheid, colonialism occur twice. It happens twice. There is the mental phase, there's the physical version of it, and there's the mental version of it. And it's everywhere. And a lot of us even don't know. I tell you this, if you don't like the kind of money you have, the problem is your mind. It has nothing to do with the job, as it were, or the business. It's just your mind. That's the first crisis. Because once your mind is saying, it's not for me, then it's not for you. So I got to ask some people since I got here, so what happened? And someone was telling me, said, even houses that people even prefer to have white landlords than Black landlords, that the tenancy rule says that if somebody rents your property, right, anything goes bad, you, the landlord, fix it. If you rent a house from a Black person, the whole thing will be bad. He's not going to fix anything, doesn't care. You rent a house from a white landlord, immediately you tell him something is bad, he comes and fix it, right? And I was clearly told that, look, assuming, because I had to say, okay, maybe they could come up with a policy like they did in Nigeria, where they call it indigenization policy by Obasanjo, where a lot of the businesses had to go back to some Black people. And I remember when they said, if that happens, the whole South Africa system will collapse. Because mentally, a lot of the Black people just are looking for who to blame. They're just wanting to play victim. They just want free money. They just want somebody to dash them something. there's just that mental laziness there. Okay? And I'm saying this to explain to you that many of us, we have decided that this is the only thing we will do. We'll be employees for the rest of our lives. After you listen to motivational speakers, you say you come and start your own business. And guess where you are? You are still in the same spot. Because even when you start your own business, you are still what? Self-employed. You only own a business. You are still not a business owner with a system. Why? Because it takes almost 15 years or more for your business to move from being a small business. That's if it moves. Some people have run business for 30 years and still a small business. It's still, self-employment they're doing, right? So it takes, but even if it will scale, you have all the tools to make it scale. It takes an average of 15 years to be able to put all the systems so that the business can run even when you are not there. Are we learning? Is this helpful? If this is helpful, type it is helpful. So what you see is that when you are here, you can never be rich. And this is where people are missing it. You can never be rich. It's a guru, is guaranteed. You can never be rich. Now, am I asking you to quit your job? No. Am I asking you not to start a new business? No. What I'm saying to you is that whether you have a job or you are self-employed, you should be thinking of investment as you speak. Yes, I know we are in a business opportunity masterclass, but you need to know that. Why am I saying this? Because many of you, and I've seen some of you do this, and sometimes you see even people go on social media and start complaining, right? You see people come. How many of you have also done it to people, and don't lie? You paid for, let's say, e-commerce, or you pay for Forex, and then they say you should pay $5,000, and then you pay the $5,000. Deep on your inside, you know you did not implement anything you learned in that classroom. Months later, you start shouting they should give your money back. They are scammers. How many of you have either seen issues like that, or even you've done it? Be honest. If you have seen it, type I've seen it. If you've done it, just type I've done it. God forgive me. Right? And deep, deep, deep inside, you know you really did not really, okay, take action on what you were taught. Okay? And even the case where you then took action, you were not consistent, right? You just wish you could just pay that $5,000 and then voila, in the next few months, boom, you don't hammer. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. And in fact, this is the reason why today, a lot of times people say, why did you have to do stuff like Tel University? You reduce the prices. I said, look, I just want people, because it's not their money that is important to me. I just want them to build the discipline to go and start learning and then work on. Because when you go to Tel University, you watch a video, it gives you quiz, it gives you assignment. You write the assignment, you get a certificate for it. So it mentally begins to just put you in that action mode, right, to do something. Else you will just come, you enjoy a good class, you will not do anything at the end of the day. So don't quit your job. I'm not one of those that will say that. Don't stop your small businesses. But why you are those things? Because those things will not happen overnight. Success, breakthrough in those things will not happen overnight. Side also, nobody has ever become a billionaire from side hustle. Hear it from me today. Quote me anywhere. I repeat it. Nobody has ever become a billionaire from side hustle. You can be a millionaire, but not a billionaire. And hear me well. Nobody becomes financially free because they made $1 million. Nobody, even if that million is in dollars, nobody becomes financially free. Because if you earn $1 million, a lot of that will go into taxes. Who knows what I'm talking about? Because obviously for it to have been dollars, you earned it outside of Africa. And they don't joke with tax there. You are looking at between 25% to 40% has gone on taxes, depending on what part of the world that you are in. It's gone on taxes, right? Another huge part of that will go to just pay all the debts you have already acquired all these years, credit card, card bills, all of the debts you've been owing, student loans. Who knows what I'm talking about? Another portion, a major portion, goes into just finally sorting that you now own a house and it's not mortgage, or you just finish paying your mortgage or just become financially free. By the time you are done, you realize that $1 million is nothing. Really. Are you learning, guys? Are you learning? If you're learning, type I'm learning. Okay? So, while you're at a job, trying to build your career, get a job that pays you better, while you are doing your own business, your small business, begin to look for a way to become an investor. And I'm saying this clearly because any of this business I'm teaching you today, for you to get to here, which is where I am now, because many of you will start the business today, you will start comparing yourself with me. I don't even understand what kind of mindset is that. I've put in 15 years. You have just put in 6 months and you want to compare us. How does it work that way? Rather than be asking me, Dr. Stephen, what keeps you hanging? Why did you keep at it when this thing wasn't working? When this thing was too small? Okay? But to avoid situations where while you're starting this business that we'll be teaching in these 3 days, you give up, start investing small. And some of the businesses will also teach you as some form of investment. You can buy shares, you can buy land, you can buy, something you're just putting your money into gradually. What will happen is this. Even if the business you are doing fails, even if they sack you, a day will come, the returns from this investment will be more than your salary, or it will be more than what you need to sustain your small business. Look at this, 5% of the people in the world, they only do investment or have a business that can survive without them. But guess what? They control 95% of the money in the world. So you want to join this team. Is this clear? If it's clear, type is clear. I understand it, I understand it. Come on. If it's clear, type is clear, I understand it, I understand it. Now, what are the various land use? First of all, what is real estate? Real estate is land and every other thing that is consisted on the land. Let me say that again. What is real estate? Real estate is landed property and every other thing consistent on the landed property. So, and people make this mistake. Real estate is not the house. The house is just part of the real estate, right? The key thing in every real estate is the land. The land is the main thing. So the house you build on it is just what we call land use. Everybody say land use. And there are different options of land use. And that's why if you put too much emphasis on the house you built on a land, then you lose the focus on the real priority, because there will be a phase where the house that has been built on it is no longer valid. You need to demolish it and build something else and use that same land for something more profitable. You must be conscious of that and you must live with that kind of mindset. So we have types of land use, condominiums. So usually there's 200 units in one place, 400 units in one place. Then we have what we call cooperative. Cooperatives are usually over 1,000. Now, who can guess this? How many of you, by the way, live in Nigeria? If you live in Nigeria, just type I live in Nigeria. How many of you live in the UK? If you live in UK, type UK. If you live in the US, type US. Just type where you live. I just want to have an idea of my audience and where majority of them are from. Okay, because this is a global event and we're teaching this to be relevant to wherever in the world you are. So this is not just, oh, it's relevant to UK or it's relevant, no. Anywhere in the world, this is relevant for you. Okay, so I see a good number of people are from Nigeria, where God lives. Now, for those of you in Nigeria, how many cooperative buildings exist in Nigeria? Now, for those of you in Zambia, how many cooperative building lives in Zambia? US, how many cooperative? UK. Remember, cooperative is building that has over 1,000 units, 1,000 units and above. It's called a COP, or cooperative building, or COP, right? So who can guess? I want to see who knows this. Okay, how many do we have in Nigeria? Olivia says, don't really know. Why will you not know? The one we have in Nigeria is very famous, and it's actually one. It's called 1004, just one. Okay, so it tells you how, and I intentionally asked that question because I'm sure in Zambia there's none. A lot of African countries don't even have any. And it tells you the deficit, how there's so much we can do in the real estate space. We're just scratching the surface. We're just at the infant phase of real estate development. Then you have an apartment. Apartments are usually where you have less than 100, and then, sometimes even just 2 or 4 or 5. Then you have modular homes, and then you have manufactured homes. So these are various land use, okay? We also have commercial and industrial. For commercial, we have the office spaces. There are a lot of office spaces, and of course, different design. You can see this one was designed like a basket, right? That's still part of commercial. Hospitals are part of commercial. Burial ground are commercial. Malls, restaurants, they're all commercial. Then you have industrial. You have heavy industrial, which is like refineries and major industrial hub, where they're manufacturing stuff. Then you have warehouses, which you can call like light industrial, right? So these are various things that a land can be used for. So every economic activity is on a land, right? Every economic activity. Now, 90% of all millionaires become so through owning real estate. So first of all, you need to know that everyone, this by Andrew Carnegie, everyone who is rich in the world, billionaires and millionaires, they became so through real estate. In other words, and hear this very well, including companies, and please hear this very, very well, because some of you will immediately want to argue with me, but I will break it down for you. How many of you are aware that even some of the big companies that you know today, when they were eventually doing valuation of their assets, what really now made them billionaires were the fact that the properties that they started, whether it was the warehouse, whether it was the office spaces, whether it was, whatever it was, at some point had now become very huge. The value had increased. So if you go to Google campus, if you go to Facebook campus, for example, Apple campus was built with $1 billion in Silicon Valley, right? Today, if you value that same Apple campus, it's probably going to be worth between $2 to $3 billion. So even corporations, their value begin to increase by the virtue of the assets that they're buying. Okay? And so ultimately, you then hear 10 years later, oh, this person's what? And this is where people miss it. I remember even my own case, when the news started going, the guy is a billionaire. Some people had known me 10 years ago are like, billionaire, how? The guy I used to know was struggling. He was this. Yes, he had a business. Those TVs, no billionaire. But what they don't know is that even from those days, we're struggling. And you see the power of investment, right? Guys, come on, everybody shout investment. Because even in those days, I was still struggling to meet ends meet. I started buying land. Every money I had, I was putting into paying small for one land, for one investment or the other, right? So at the end of the day, years later, land I was buying for 250,000, 500,000, and now going for 50 million, and now going for 20 million. And I was buying large, 300 plots here, 500 plot there, 700 plot here. So before you know, he's a billionaire. No, how, where, who? If you two were wise, you should have also. You see why I showed you that cash flow quadrant earlier, right? That even while you are struggling and hustling, be putting something to some investment that can just be appreciating. Because the beauty of investment is that You don't need to do any other thing to it to make it grow. A business, you still need to run it, do work every day, resume office, encourage people, come up with ideas. But an investment, you put in money once and the thing begins to work for itself. It begins to appreciate by itself, begin to grow by itself. So ultimately, all millionaires and billionaires become so through real estate investment, because every small money they were putting it into real estate. And a year came where even if the company was struggling, the asset the company had acquired was already worth millions and billions. Even if the individual wasn't still exceptionally big, but the asset had become very big. Is this helpful? If it's helpful, type this is helpful. Okay, come on, type helpful. So today we're going to be looking at 6 ways to make money from real estate. Are you ready? If you're ready for 6 ways to make money from real estate, type I'm ready. Again, let me warn you, because I shared that earlier when I started today's class. This is an introductory class. You don't live here and assume you now are the masters of real estate. That's not how this thing works. Okay? That's not how it works. You are not yet the master of real estate. It's a process. Knowledge is not a destination, but a journey. So this is an introduction. If you're interested, you can join the Stephen Akitera University. They're the one that put this together. Please, Toby, going forward, let's brand the flyer so that Stephen Akitera University present Business Opportunity Masterclass, right? So people understand what it is, right? So, or powered by Stephen Akitera University. This is being brought to you by Stephen Akitera University, meaning that, it's like helping you to have a taste of what is on the platform, and it helps you going forward. So are you ready? Number 1, it's called land banking. Everybody type land banking. Okay, number 1 way to make money in the real estate sector is called land banking. Can everybody type land banking? By the way, wherever you are in the world, I want to invite more people for this event. If you're watching us on YouTube, share the link. If you're watching us on Facebook, share the link and get more people to join us. It's free, and the event is supposed to be paid, but I decided to make it free for you all over the world. And the only way you can reward me is to get more people to watch. So share, and get more people. If you're watching us on Zoom, copy the Zoom link you used to join and share it with as many people as possible, okay? So that more people can be empowered. I have a vision. People ask me, why do I do this? I have a vision of raising 1 million millionaires before I leave this earth. So I'm a man on a mission, right? And when I say 1 million millionaires, I'm talking of millionaires in dollars. Come on, how many of you are going to be one of them? Okay, my goal is to raise 1 million millionaires in dollars before I leave this earth. And that's why you see me sharing so much about what I know, what has worked for me, and I'm sharing as many as I can for free, and some I require you to pay for it because you won't even value it if you don't pay, right? People don't value what they get for free. So it's always wise, no matter how much you want to help people. Somebody said this to me, I'll never forget, said, don't help people who are not willing to participate in their own deliverance. I don't know if you have seen people like that. They are not willing to participate in their own deliverance. They are not. They will shout that they want to be delivered. They will shout that they are a victim. They will tell you how things are bad and things are tough. But when you say, okay, you to take this action so that you can come out of this, they're not willing to do that. They're not willing. They just want to get it free. They just want free, help me, save me, help me. And it's just a wrong mindset. Nobody owes you anything, right? I meet people who are, into crime. And you see somebody say to you, help me not to go back to crime. Oh, please go back to crime. It's your life, right? And if crime kills you, it was your choice. Going viral today is a story of a guy called Mobad. He was into music, and there were signs that things were bad. There were signs that he was being bullied. There were signs that He was going through a lot of mental health. But the question was, what did he even do by himself to come out of those things? This is important that you and I understand how much are we participating in our own deliverance. How much? For example, if you're from a, let's say, cultism background, and you realize that this cultism is going to kill you, did you quit cultism? Right? Let's assume you are from which other background? Let's say you are from a very, stark crime background. You are not into crime, but the neighborhood is a crime neighborhood. Now God has lifted you out and you still stay in that neighborhood. How will you ever come out? Go and ask people like Jay-Z. They never got freedom until they came out of that neighborhood. They go out time to time to reach out and help as many people in that neighborhood. But to remain in that neighborhood means you're going to die there. Okay? You can never change having the same set of mindset. It won't work. So, land banking is the first business we're looking into. Our land banking is simply the process of land aggregation for the purpose of investment or development. What does it mean in layman terms? It is the model where you buy land, okay, and you keep it for a few years, okay, and after a few years, you either sell it, that's what I said, for the purpose of investment. If you sell it, that means you did it for investment or development. So in other words, a few years later, the entire neighborhood is also developed. You can now decide, okay, on this one plot, I'm going to be 4 units of 2-bedroom. And you can then decide to sell each unit of that, or decide to rent it out and still generate income for yourself. So again, let me repeat it because I want everybody to type it, right? Whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, Space, everywhere, just type it. Land banking is the process of land aggregation for the purpose of investment or development. Everybody type it again. Land banking is the process of land banking is the process of land aggregation for the purpose of investment or development. That's what it is. So you start buying this land, neighborhood that is not far from an already developed settlement. Okay, so a place is already very developed, and then you start buying land around the neighborhoods, and so okay, I'm buying land in Ikorodu, I'm buying land in Ekpe, I'm buying land in Bejuleki. Let's assume you are in New York, so of course you can't buy land in Manhattan anymore. But you see, there's some part of New Jersey that is closer to Manhattan, right? And development is beginning to move there. So can you start buying properties in that part of Manhattan? So for example, in the US, we are investing heavily in Dallas and Houston, Texas. Houston, because a lot of people have moved to Texas generally, right? Tesla has moved to Texas. Chick-fil-A, a lot of people are moving their headquarters to Texas because of these tax issues with, Democrat states and Republican states, oftentimes low on tax. And so based on those factors, you see people buy properties in those places. So same thing, right? Where it's close to London, you may not be able to buy property in central London, or it could be East London, right? But the data must show that development is beginning to move into those axes, right? And sometimes factors that influence land banking are industrial projects, government projects that is coming into that neighborhood. So these factors influence land banking. I can go on and on, but you can go to Sinatra University and you learn more. You can also go to my YouTube, Dr. S. Akintayo on YouTube, and subscribe. There's so much to learn there as well. Number 2, if you're ready for number 2, type I'm ready. And then number 2 is property flipping. I want everybody to type property flipping. Everybody type property flipping. That's number 2, property flipping. Okay, type it wherever you're watching. I love, like I said, I love an interactive class. I don't like people watching me and they're not contributing and interacting in the class. You need to. That's what makes me know you're here. and get me to engage you more. So number 2, property flipping. Now, what is property flipping? It's simply a real estate business model where you buy properties that are below the market price, usually due to distress sales or as a result of what we call, functional or structural obsolescence. And you, of course, in the case of structural and functional obsolescence, you renovate the property and then you flip it. So let me repeat it again. What is property flipping? It's a business model where you buy properties below the market price, either as a result of distress sales. So sometimes people need money urgently and they're selling the property below the actual price. Okay, I've shared a story of somebody I know. He only buys property from people who have cancer because he knows they're more desperate. And so he usually ends up buying his property 50% below the market price. He doesn't even buy the properties that are suffering from what we call functional or structural obsolescence. Now, what is structural or functional obsolescence? That simply means buildings that are dilapidated. I think, African word for that is dilapidated buildings, right? So there are 2 ways to do flipping. You either buy properties that the seller is in distress and just want to sell it, and not because something is wrong with the property. But once it's below the market price, you buy it and you flip it. You don't even need to renovate anything. The second type of flipping are usually properties that have already struggling. I mean, the property is already dilapidated. And so you buy this one, you then renovate it. Usually, by the time you're buying it, let's say you're buying it 30% below the market price. When you're even done with renovation, sometimes you gain another 20 to 15% again. So your total, appreciation as it were is almost like 45%. But of course, you have now put in your money and you then have to flip the property. Now, there are a couple of rules to this if you want to do this. Number 1 is you must be careful not to keep that property for too long, else, okay, you will be, struggling in the case where your money just died down. For example, let's say you are buying a property for $500,000, right? And you're renovating it, and that's $200,000. Now, you've done your renovation, but your target is to sell it for 1 million. And you're insisting that no, you only sell it 1 million or nothing less. People have come to say, oh, let's buy this property for you for 850,000. So no. I put in 700,000. 150,000 is too small for me to make as a profit. Right? You've seen people like that. So what usually will happen, you can now have that same property staying there for another 33 months. Okay, another 6 months. Meanwhile, in that 3 to 6 months, you could have gone away with your 150,000 profit humbly and done 2-3 deals within that next 3 to 6 months, right? That even if all you are making is another 100,000 to 150,000, you have practically lost another $400,000 because you are insisting on $450,000 in the space of 3 to 6 months because you are insisting on being given certain. So when you're in the flipping business, even if the profit margin is little, what your goal is to keep recycling your time and your money as quick as you can. Does this make sense? If it makes sense, everybody type, it makes sense. Come on, talk to me. Again, if it makes sense, everybody type, it makes sense, it makes sense. Okay, whatever you're watching, makes sense, makes sense. I'm gonna type it. Okay, number 3. Are you ready for number 3? If you're ready for number 3, type, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Okay, and chat, ready, ready, ready. Number 3, commercial real estate. Everybody say commercial real estate. Okay, commercial real estate. Now, commercial real estate is another type of real estate business where you are focusing on bulk, right? You're focusing on something bulk. So, for example, if you are into, even though we have residential houses that you live in, but once you're beginning to do, remember we talked about condominiums earlier. Once you are beginning to do, buy condominiums and you're renting it out and managing it, you can still say you're in a commercial real estate. Because commercial just means large quantity of real estate portfolios. However, commercial is also signifies hospitality business, restaurant, office spaces, right? But again, once it's large and huge, that's the angle. And commercial real estate is also one of those major money spinner because people will need to go to hospital. They will need to go to a shopping mall. They will need to go and watch movies. There are just some basic things human beings must do. And you being the one to own those things, guarantee consistent cash flow. Everybody say cash flow. And I think this is part of why people love commercial real estate more. In fact, in some parts of the world, people prefer commercial real estate than residential real estate. We'll talk about that later. And why people love commercial real estate is just the cash flow, because sometimes residential real estate, people are owing you money, and they're even blackmailing you, particularly in Africa, right? So, economy is bad. But commercial real estate is that you're making money off the property. You're putting, restaurants, people are coming to buy your food. So a lot of times you see investors preferring to do commercial real estate than residential because they feel that they almost have that guaranteed source of income. They have guaranteed tenancy because tenants will always need that, and the cash flow is always going to be helping them, right? Then we go to number 4. If you're ready for number 4, type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Come on, talk to me. Are you ready? Number 4, way to make money from real estate. Okay, and all of you will love this, shortlet. About type shortlet. Funny enough, now I have a lot of testimonies for different people. I don't know why testimony was not in this slide, right? Joshua, I really don't know what's going on here. We had this conversation. Joshua, we had a meeting now, and I told you to put testimonies. Joshua, are you there? I told you to put testimony. Even in Benin, I had somebody talking about how he learned shortlets and he now owns 10 property. If you cut that video and put here, would it not help? We practically have videos almost on every real estate type. So why didn't you put it here, Joshua? We discussed this. Because I've always said this. Before I didn't.
The editing team is still working on it. They've not, the video editors have not released it. That's why it was not added.
Well, Toby, can you give Joshua and the editing team query, please? Just give them right now a copy. Because I don't know what that means. That's just pure nonsense. It takes less than an hour to cut out a part that is urgently needed. It's less than an hour. So if you are supposed to be the one to supervise them and get them to do it in record time, and you don't do that, you deserve query. Okay? Because years ago, I didn't used to take seriously the concept of testimonies, but later I realized that, look, sometimes you could be training and people just don't believe you. A lot of time people are just way into their poverty and their lack that no matter what you are talking about, they just don't see themselves becoming those people. But when they can see, oftentimes during testimony, you see the guy is from a background similar to yours. The guy is not even living in the city. Sometimes testimony helps us to kill all our excuses. Does anybody understand what I'm talking about? Because you usually when people are then giving testimony, sometimes you are seeing people who have the same background as yours, sharing. Just give me a second. Okay, guys. So I later realized a lot of time when you just put this testimony out there, people just connect with it because they can then relate to those stories. And a lot of time people are able to see, oh yeah, it fuels their belief and their faith. So shortlet, I just had this testimony. I was so humbled in Benin. This is a gentleman, he lives in Benin. He watched my video in the Senator University portal, just like we're asking all of you to go and subscribe to the portal. By the way, how many of you are existing members of the Senator University? If you are in the Senator University as we speak, type I am in. If you are not, type I'm not. I want everybody to reply. Come on, I'm waiting. If you are currently in the Senator University, type I'm in. If you are not, type I'm not. So I'm seeing a lot of I'm not than I am in. And I'm wondering why you're not. Okay, so let me ask this question because I can see we have a lot of people who are not. For all of you who are not, how many of you will love to join tonight? Because you're missing a lot. You're missing crazy. How many of you would love to join tonight? If you love to join tonight, type me. It's not free, it's paid. It's a monthly payment subscription program. But if you would love to join tonight, type me. It's a $247 subscription every month. Yes, because it has over 2,000 courses of my own, my mentors. It's my entire life work. But I can see, so what I would do today, I'm going to allow the first 20 people, because we have over 100 people on Zoom. We have, a lot on Facebook, a lot on YouTube. I'm going to allow the first 20 to pay tonight, to pay. How much is the promo we're giving them tonight? Joshua or Toby, can any one of you remind? What's the promo we're giving? Instead of paying $247, how much are they paying in dollars?
All right, sir. So for the 6 months offer, we're giving them for
1 month.
1
month first of all.
Okay, 1 month is $30.
So that's a discount of $217 off. So rather than pay $247, and please always put the actual price on your flyer. This is the actual price. Cancel. This is the new price, right? So people appreciate what you're doing for them. So instead of paying $247 a month, you're now paying $30 a month. That's how much in Naira for those who are Nigerians. How many of you would like to, how many of you won't take advantage of that? So, but that is for the first 20 people who are going to sign in while we're here, right? Who are going to sign in while we're here. So you have the opportunity. Again, once we hit first 20, we're done. So the first 20 of you today, instead of paying $247 every month, you pay just that $30. While if you want to subscribe for 6 months, how much is for 6 months? Normal price.
6 months.
Normal price first. Always tell your clients the normal amount, then you can then announce what you have discounted.
All right, so normal price is $1,482 for 6 months. And for if you make payments today, you'll be getting it for $108. So that is over $1,300 off. Okay, just for people that make payments tonight.
So first 20 people, not people that make payment. Don't scatter my webinar. I'm not giving general people, it's just first 20 to pay tonight. Okay? My food has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like shutting down this webinar right now. Okay? I've not eaten Nigerian food since yesterday. So they brought me Nigerian food. You need to see the South African food they gave me. It was just tasteless as far as I was concerned. See, they had rice like that, potato, they have chicken, but tasteless. It's not spicy. I'm missing Nigeria already. Okay. But they just brought me Nigerian food, so I'm excited. Malcolm says, do well to finish, sir. Yeah. So I should stay hungry. I'm hungry as I speak to you. See human beings. Human beings are naturally selfish, right? You couldn't even say, sir, leave us alone. We'll be fine. Go and eat. Your health is important, Okay, so this gentleman was part of Sevaita University and, learned about shortlet, and now he has 10 shortlet in Benin GRA. And so what is this shortlet business model? How does it work, really? The shortlet business model, can somebody be replying people who are asking questions on Facebook, on Zoom about, the offer and all of that? Just be replying them. You can give them the link to sign up as well while we're on the call, so that at least you have your first 20. Now, shortlet business model is this, and I tell people it's a business model where you rent an empty apartment, and then you furnish the empty apartment, and then you rent it out almost like an hotel per day, per week. And the beauty of the shortlet apartment model, and somebody's asking for the link on Facebook for this Sevaita University. It's just sevaitauniversity.com, but I think there's a code for you to be able to get this discount. So they'll post it on Facebook as well. So Toby and Jamie and the team, can you do a proper write-up, right? This is the offer in dollar, this is the offer in Naira, this is the URL to sign up, this is the code to use, and start posting YouTube, Facebook, Zoom. Okay, come on. So the shortlet model, and I'll just break it down easily. Let's say I'm currently in Johannesburg. So you look for and this is very important, look for a high, scale neighborhood. Don't just go do shortlet business in neighborhoods that are not safe. Don't do it in neighborhood where poor people are. And I've said this over and over again. Business is not emotional and it's not sentiment. Right? A lot of people will never grow their business because, they have decided to be emotional about their business. And I've said this, two poor people can't help themselves. If you're going to be successful in business, help yourself first. Grow a very successful business. After that, you can now come back and start helping people. So today now, for me to say I'm going to be doing affordable housing, when I know me, myself, I'm trying to grow our company and sustain our company, it's not realistic. But 30 years down the line, the same me can say, hey, we've made enough profit now. Let's go to and start doing houses that, even though we're making losses, we're just trying to help people. That's how you do things. But you want to structure that, first of all, you succeed yourself. You make enough money and then you start helping. So to start shortlet and so, I live in the poorest neighborhood in South Africa. I want to help those people. And you haven't helped yourself. That would be the problem. So you come to highbrow neighborhood, something I'm currently in where Melrose is, high-end neighborhood, very safe. And then you look for 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and you should do your data analysis as well. Some places 1-bedroom move more than 2-bedroom. Some places 2-bedroom move more than 1-bedroom because there are more families visiting that city than individuals. Some places studio move faster. For example, in New York, if you're going to do this business in New York, studio, of course, should be your number one because studio move faster in New York as a lot of individuals move into New York than even families come to visit New York. So you get the apartment, usually it's empty, nothing there. Then you furnish it. You put a bed, you put a couch, you put, kitchen utensils, make it really beautiful, habitable, something someone will be proud to live in. It looks almost like an hotel, just that the advantage is they can cook their food, they have kitchen, they have microwave, they have pots, they have a refrigerator, everything to live in the place as if it's their house. You furnish it there. And then the next thing you want to do is automation. Everybody say automation. This, I'm still talking about shortlet now. Now you want to automate the property. Now, under automation, we're saying that you want to put in doors that are, people can punch in just keys. Because part of what makes Airbnb or short let unscalable is if it's too manual. Because now you have to have a manager, you have to always go there, you have to always do this, you have to always do that. But once you automate it, meaning you have a door that is electronic, it can either scan their face and the door will open, and the door will be valid for that period they paid, or you send them a code to access the building without you being there. That way you can even contract a cleaning company that once one guest leave, you just send a message to the cleaning company. They come there, they clean the place, make it ready for the next guest. And that reduces your bill considerably, and it helps you to scale. And when I say scale, it means you can have 100, short let apartment that you control, 200 short let apartment that you control. In Cameroon, I have a mentee as well who started his business that way as well. And by the way, for my training that is starting tonight, we're going to be bringing a lot of my mentees to come and share their story and inspire a lot of new guys who are going to the real estate business, because it's inspired them. So I have a mentee, he started with just one, and now he has, I think, 4. He also does like 2-3 bedroom at what he focuses on. So, but also make sure that the neighborhood is safe. It has all kid playing area if you are doing 2 and 3 bedroom, because once you are doing 2 and 3 bedroom, it means people want to come with their children. And so does that, so you want to look for an estate kind of place, gated, very well secured, has swimming pool, has kid area, has a park. All these little things are part of what will then help your Airbnb or your short let to do well. Number next is you then want to list it. The listing is very important. I always advise have your own website as well to list it on your mobile app, but still go ahead and still list it on Airbnb, hotel.ng, booking.com, and all this platform. Here's the secret. Always use the international platform as well, because sometimes you see people say, oh, well, my hotel is in Zambia, right? I don't need to put it on booking.com. Booking.com is a US platform. No, there are a lot of people coming all the way from US to Zambia, right? And is booking.com, they know. So they will just type Zambia. If your property is what they see, now you have a client. Is this helpful? If it's helpful, type this is helpful. Right? If this is helpful, type this is helpful. Okay, beautiful. So as I begin to wrap up, let's go through the remaining 2 quickly. Residential rental property, right? So for the residential rental property business, you are buying the property, you're not renting it. You buy a property, and the ultimate goal of buying that property is simple. The ultimate goal is that you want to be able to do something very simple with the property. What are you trying to do with that property? You are buying it so that you can rent it, and your target source of revenue is 2. We have rental income and we have capital appreciation. Everybody type rental income and capital appreciation. So now in the short let, you don't have anything called capital appreciation. You're only getting rental income, and you're splitting between the landlord and other partners, right? But in the case of residential rental real estate business model, you are making money 2 places, rental and capital appreciation. What do you mean by capital appreciation? Is the increase in the value of the property between the time you bought it and the time you're evaluating it or trying to sell it. So for example, I bought this property for $500,000, and 10 years later, I'm trying to sell it, or I'm just evaluating it, and it's now worth what? It's now worth $1 million. That's the 500,000 there increase is called capital appreciation. Then the rental income, of course, is what the tenant is paying you for using it. So usually rental real estate business model is not necessarily for short let. Some buy and use it for short let, but that's not usually the key things. Sometimes people buy it and still put it on a long list, 1 year, 2 year or more. However, for this business model, you must, again, location is very critical. Nearness to school, nearness to transportation, nearness to a lot of basic amenities is critical to the property you buy, because that will influence the capital appreciation, and that will also influence the desire for people to want to rent that kind of place. Safety is very critical. Community kind of housing is also critical. Do they have a community to this particular property I'm buying? So sometimes we just buy a house. Well, I bought 2 bedroom, I bought 10 bedroom, I bought 20 bedroom. That's not it. Is the house you are buying located in a proper structured community, right? A community where, there's security, there's protection, there's a lot to help the children. My family and I, when we're in Nigeria, we live in Banana Island. The reason is simple. It's a safe community. The roads are very wide. There's street light every time. The electricity is constant. They have kids play area. The quality of people, even your kids are meeting with, are decent families as well. So those are what you are paying for. So sometimes you end up seeing that the kind of rent, by the way, property is going for a 5 bedroom, 5 bedroom, a particular 5 bedroom is going for $200,000 in Banana Island as I speak to you. $200,000 to rent it for a year. So what the people are paying is not just the house, it's that neighborhood. And so that's part of what needs to be in your mind when you're doing this, fifth business. Last but not the least is called real estate investment trust. And in this business model, you are not even you're not trying to own the property. You just want to be getting returns from the real estate companies that have decided to do the business. Remember, we talked about this earlier, where we talked about the importance of investment. I don't know if you remember when we talked about investment. I don't know if you remember I talked about investment, right? We talked about employee, self-employed, business owner, and investment. Who remembers? So this real estate investment trust is that part where you are not having the headache of the properties in your name, and they're asking you to be paying real estate tax, the land use tax, where they're asking you to pay all that. You don't have you don't also carry that weight of the insurance in case anything go wrong with the property, all of that. No. Your own is that you're looking for credible real estate companies that are doing commercial real estate, they're doing residential real estate, they're developers, and you're giving them your money so that you can constantly get return on investment. That is the business model, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and why real estate investment trust? Number one, it's a very good place where it takes away the pressure of paying tax, right? So you're not under heavy tax in this business model. Also, people getting to know your worth, because the whole thing is not even your name, right? There are times where people are investigating to know who you are, what you own, man, just to come after you. We have in Ogun State a former governor, right? The current governors are fighting politically. They went to demolish the person's house. I mean, there's so much that happens, right? But in the case where you do real estate investment trust, it's not in your name. You are not taxed on the investment, and so and your money keep increasing in value and appreciating, and you make good money for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to stop here, ladies and gentlemen. Have you gotten value? Did you get value so far? If you got pure value, just type pure value, pure value, pure value, right? Pure value. Now, if this is an introduction, what do you think the real class will look like? Okay, what do you think the real class will look like? So you see why you have to immediately get involved in subscribing to the Stephen Akita University ASAP, immediately. Like I said, we're giving the first 20 people, you know, but over 80% discount, literally. Instead of $247 a month, you're paying just, you know, just $30. And if you're doing 6 months, you're just paying $130 instead of paying over $1,000. And I tell people this, it's better to go for the 6 months thing, because you know, you just know for the next 6 months you're learning. Like I told you, I'm doing 2-year program. I'm ending it in December with Harvard University, just for a whole 2 years. Knowledge is not a destination, it's a journey. Every day you're learning, every day you must keep learning, else the whole thing will get out of you. Else you get discouraged, you get out of the whole thing, headache of life. But constantly you are learning from Dr. Stephen, you're improving, your life is changing. That's how we got here. It's not overnight, it's not some magic, right? So I will take questions for those of you who have questions. So what I'm going to do for you tonight, even though I'm not supposed to do it, but I will give at least half of the class. We have 12 weeks. I'll give you 6 weeks access to this 12 weeks real estate certification program if you go for the 1-year package of the Stilacta University. So if you pay for Stilacta University for 1 year, you will be having access. And this class is starting by 7 p.m. Nigerian time, 8 p.m. South African time. So I need to wrap up so I can get to that new class. The class is $10,000 and the early bird is $2,000. So if you're subscribing for 1 year, I think that's even less than $400. So, but I will only do that again for the first 5 people to subscribe for the Stilacta University 1-year program. You'll be having 6 weeks out of the 12 weeks to be part of the class. You'll be learning all of these things. You can screenshot to read it. I mean, this will open you up to how do you get financing, how do you use HMO, how do you use, you know, what we call equity loan, equity line of credit for those of you who are in the US, UK, Canada. I mean, mortgage option. We're bringing who is who. It's going to be, 12 weeks of, today will be the intro class. And then from the next week, it's just going to be bumper, 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 bumper. Okay, thank you all for coming. So I'll take 2 questions, I'm done. This question is directed to Dr. Stevens. I'm a young man of 19. How do I invest? Sometimes we give excuses about age as if, and I honestly don't understand when you do excuse about age. Again, Toby Okunuga, this is why it's good to always write when I talk, right? Always write when I talk. When we had our meeting in a hotel, we agree on 1 month, we agree on 6 months, and we agree on 1 year. That was what we discussed. And even the amount was agreed upon. And this is why it's good to always write down immediately. Sometimes we think our brain will capture it, we'll remember, but we'll forget. Right? Favor for residential real estate. Is it advisable to get lease rather than owning it? You better own. Don't even think lease. If you're going to be doing lease, just do short legs. David Shima. How can one who is undergoing NYC go into real estate with little money? Well, my advice would be get into the knowledge first. You see, a lot of us are too bothered about how do I start, instead of thinking of knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. The knowledge of a business is more important than the business itself. I've always had to teach this again and again. Always work on getting the knowledge. The knowledge is more important than the business. So we get ourselves too bothered about how do I start this business? How do I start this business? Get the knowledge. This is not the end of the knowledge. Subscribe to Stilacta University so that by the time you're a graduate, you are so loaded to a point you will have started as a property broker. It's part of what you're going to be learning at Stilacta University. You don't need money to be a property broker. You could have started as a consultant to a lot of people who are doing real estate, right? And you'll have been making money. that when you now say, okay, I'm starting my own real estate company. I had a meeting today with a guy in an entertainment industry because of what I've seen the guy do online. And he was telling me some other bigger vision. I said, do me a proposal. I will invest and I will do a webinar. I will get you investors, even if you're looking for $200,000. But the only reason I'm doing that with the guy is because he has already started, right? And all he did was to keep learning, and then, it's a bit what he has learned in a small scale. So we can trust him that he will be able to do something bigger because of what we have, the small version we have seen. So always invest in the knowledge of a business before the business itself. And stop giving this excuse of, I'm a young man, I'm an NYC. Are you in Stavanger University? That's where to start, really, because that gives you the bright background, to really understand the business and starting phases to it. Okay, so today's assignment, like I said, I'm giving access to the $100 million challenge to those who wait till the end of today's class and tomorrow's class and Saturday's class. And I'm going to be giving you a challenge every day. So that's how we know those who did the challenge, who did the assignment. So go and read a book. You can get the audio version of the book called This is Marketing by Seth Godin. And do a summary of any chapter, whether you'll be able to read up to 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 4 chapters. You can't obviously do that in the next 3 days, the whole. Whatever chapter you do a summary of what you learned from it and send it to email to info@stephenxdale.com, a summary. Okay? So this is Marketing by Seth Godin. This is Marketing by Seth Godin. This is Marketing by Seth Godin. See you tomorrow's class, same time. But Toby or Joshua, you can explain today's offer, and let's see the 20 people who qualify for it. They've been asking you questions. Where do they go? Where do they pay? What's the link? You should have a slide that explains that. Even the slide you gave me does not break down how to sign up. If you have signed up with your credit card, where's the link? If you are doing transfer, where's the link? Should be on the slide. Okay, so can you guys take it away? Thank you guys, love you, because I'm going for another meeting. Go ahead, Toby.
All right, so good evening, everybody. Guys, if you got value from this session, type in value in the chat box and say thank you, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Let me get some feedback from everybody here. Say thank you, doctor. And if you got value, type in value in the chat box. So let me just wrap up real quick by talking about the value points, the offer that we gave for people that want to be a part of the Stephen Akintayo University and to also learn from Dr. directly. There's a message on the chat box right now, giving you access to all of the offers and how to get access. All right, so you get to access.
Body is not on Zoom. There are people on YouTube, on Facebook. Put this thing I think even there's a whiteboard on the Zoom. Take possession and put the details so people can see it, please.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Give me a second. So for people joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, this is the details to get access to the offer. So we have the 1 month offer, right? Normally it's $247, but for the first 20 people, we're going to get it for $30. Same thing for the 3 month offer. Normally it's going to be $741 US, but for the person that payment today, you get it for $65. Same thing for the 6 month offer. All right. So on the chat box, you're going to get access to how you're going to make payments. And what you can also do, so that we can fast track this for you, kindly drop your phone numbers in the chat box, and our team members will contact you and help you make that payment. So we'll contact directly and show exactly what you should do to make that payment. Okay, so if you're interested across the platform, Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, drop your phone number in the chat box. If you want to go ahead and make your payment tonight and be a part of people that get access to the university, drop your phone numbers in the chat box. and then we are going to contact you. Okay, so guys, remember that this is a fast action offer. After tonight, it's not going to be available. After tonight, you're going to be paying $247 for the monthly plan instead of $30. And then remember what you're getting access to. So you're getting access to over 2,000 videos by the Steve Nakinta. You're getting access to videos from Dan Locke, Grant Cardone, Ryan Serhant, right? And then you're getting access to a variety of topics, right? Topics about real estate, topics about e-commerce, about authorship and speaking, about sales and marketing, digital marketing, Forex, and cryptocurrency. All right. Remember, this is a wealth university, right? And our goal is to raise 1 million millionaires. And then we're already on that path, right? We have a lot of people that has massive testimonies, right? Based on what they learned in university. Guys, you want to go ahead and take action right now, only for the first 20 people, right? We already have people that already started making payments, so you don't want to be left behind. Guys, you stand a chance to save over 80%. Okay, so if you're getting on board, for example, the 6-month offer, and then you are paying $180, you are going to save about $1,350, right? By just taking action tonight. All right. So guys, again, let us post the information again, right? If you have any questions, you can reach out to us, right? So the number is posted on the chat box again. Also on this whiteboard, you see the numbers, right? So that is 0706-206-0033 and 0818-00000618, right? If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to those numbers, and then we're going to help you make an informed decision. All right, guys, do not forget this session continues tomorrow. All right, same time tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be very epic, right? So tomorrow you learn about e-commerce, about drop shipping. You also learn about forex trading and cryptocurrency, how you can enter these niches and then make some money for yourself. All right, so it's going to be also an introductory session into systems strategies that you can start using to earn money in e-commerce. Right, so you learn about drop shipping, you learn about mini importation, also forex and cryptocurrency. You also learn about systems that you can start using, right, as an investor to earn money. All right. So guys, if you have any questions, you can drop your questions in the chat box. So this is the last call for questions. All right, so we have to wrap up this session in the next 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so me and Joshua, please send the information again in the chat box, details of how people can go ahead and make their payments. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions, guys. You don't drop your questions in the chat box. All right. People on YouTube, you're not left out. People on Instagram and Facebook, you are also not left out. All right. And then for people that get access to the 6 months and the 1 year offer, right? We're giving you access to be a part of the 12 weeks real estate certification program starting tonight, right? And this costs $10,000 normally, right? So only for the first 5 people that pay for the 6-month plan or the 1-month plan, right, you would get access to the 12 weeks program starting from tonight. As a matter of fact, starting in 10 minutes. So you want to take action right now. Reach out to the numbers displayed on your screen, and they're going to help you get started with this program. All right. So guys, so for the email to submit your assignment, I'm going to drop an email in the chat box right now. All right. So just send it here. So that's for Oliver Dibila. So to send your assignment, send to the email displaying on the chat box. That is product@stevenakintyre.com. I'm just also going to put it over here. Okay, so on Zoom, it is on the chat box. It is also on the screen. Okay, so you should be able to see it without any problems. Okay, so that's it. So any more questions, guys? Any more questions? All right, guys. So thank you so much for being a part of this business opportunity masterclass. This is day one, and I'm sure you got a lot of value. Day two continues tomorrow. Again, you do not want to miss out on tomorrow's session. It's going to be value packed, right? If you think today's session was, phenomenal, right? Tomorrow's session is going to be a lot better. All right. So the 12-month plan is $200 US. Benga, a 12-month plan. Okay, is $200 US. Okay, so you can reach out to the number shown on your screen, or also just drop your number in the chat box, and then we're going to walk you through the process of making your payments tonight, so that you can be a part of the first 20 people that will partake in this offer, and also get access to more juicier offers that we have in the pipeline. Okay, so guys, thanks for being a part of this webinar. My name is Toby Okunoga, and I'm looking forward to see you in tomorrow's session. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's have a remarkable night. Bye-bye, guys.